What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about 9 mega cap stocks in this video. But before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it, guys. On AMD stock, it's up close to 3% and now it's up over 4% and looks like earnings are out. I didn't look at it, but most likely it's a good one, double beat. And also CEO probably mentioned AI so many times, this thing is going up. So we got a $9 move on AMD, and so far if you look at it, $3 and now we got 5. That is close to $9 or actually over $9 right now. So we got that decent move, but I think early as tomorrow we have resistance right here around 21.75. But if this thing actually opens above that level, then it can run up to 125, 126. But I wouldn't be shorting it, even though I know that this thing will come down and retrace upper Bollinger Band, which is sitting at 119. So even today we did see AMD going all the way up to 118 and then pulling back and closing just under 118. So AMD definitely looking good going into tomorrow, and we could see a lot more upside. But if there is a pullback down to 118, that would be a dip buy on AMD stock tomorrow. If you're not on AMD and now it's up another $5, I would suggest stay away from the stock, because we're going to see AMD, no matter how high this thing goes, it's going to come down and retrace upper Bollinger Band until this Bollinger Band expands all the way up to 130. We're not going to see a massive move. At least we're not going to see that move holding up right here. Now, as a support below 118, tomorrow if this thing opens above 121.75, that's going to be the support. And below that, 118, and then down here, red line 50 SMA 115.72. I don't see that big of a drop tomorrow morning. We could see more gap up on AMD, guys. I mean, these analysts, they come out and upgrade and all that, and if that happens overnight tomorrow, this thing can open close to 125, 126. So keep an eye on AMD. Looking good. This thing can run, but don't chase it. So this is where I played Nvidia today, and if you look at it, I got in at 463ish. 470 calls, and then this thing dropped down to 460. And then what happened, guys? A quick move all the way up to 469. I was selling out at 468, and that was good money. And even though this thing came down, only down close to 0.5%, and now it's taking a beating, down about $2-3 after hours. So nothing big, but why there was a chance of a trade on Nvidia today? If you look at it, we got two moving averages right here. Blue line 5 SMA and also orange line 13 SMA. It did not break below 460. Now, if that was the case, I would get out and take a small loss. That didn't happen. So this thing went back up, and it was a nice setup to take some profit and getting out completely, because you don't want to hold this stock, especially any position on this stock at this high. So Nvidia, again, it's gonna be this big level down here to watch, 460 to 68 to 460, and only if that gives up, we're going to see a drop down to 450, and then the gap below 439.35. To the upside, Nvidia can hold above this level right up here, 462 to 460. We could see a move back up to 480 plus on Nvidia. We also have earnings coming in next couple of weeks. So on Netflix, we got a flat day, and look at this move. As soon as I sold my puts down here, this thing spiked back up. And if you look at it, not even coming down to 428, where this blue line 5 SMA is sitting, and this thing went back up all the way up to 445. But if you look at it, these two moving averages right here, 20-day and also 13-day, those are strong resistance right here on Netflix. This thing did not break out today, guys. Once again, closing below white line 20 SMA 440. So that level needs to break on Netflix, and only if that happens, we're going to see 450 plus on Netflix. Below that, watch out for the support down here, 428, 421.42, and then all the way down here to this gap 409.54. And here's my X account, and let's have a look at all my plays from yesterday and today, guys. Definitely a big day here in the market. First, selling all these puts on Netflix from yesterday. Yesterday was down, but today almost went in the money, as you can see. And then right at opening, the first trade, Google, 133 calls, almost went in the money, sold out for a profit. And look at this big trade right here. And I wish I was going big on Meta, but only few. And look at this, guys, Meta. It didn't really get down to 313, but I was ready to buy the dip. And I also mentioned yesterday in my video that anything close to 315, 316, I'll be buying that dip. And 320 calls now over the money. Another winner. And also right here, Pepsi from yesterday. Today, profit. And then we got more down here, guys. Chevron. That was one that I took yesterday. 160 puts, and today went in the money. So these are some plays. And right here we got coin, and that was a dip. And this is what I posted early in the morning before the market opened. And then you got a dip, and if you caught that dip, it's still inside this flag, and we could see a breakout with the earnings on coin. And if that happens, we're going to see coin going over 100 again. So definitely give it a try if you're not on Patreon, and especially if you're serious about trading, definitely check it out, guys. On Apple, stock is down 0.43%, and Apple holding above blue line 5 SMA 195, which is looking strong and bullish for tomorrow. Now, earnings coming on Thursday night on Apple, and we could see a massive explosion. And we talked about it yesterday in my video. There's a $7 move here on Apple stock, and we could see that going into Thursday's trading session. Now on Apple stock, we do have support below 195, down here at 192.57, and then the gap below 191 also have support at 190. To the upside, Apple, I think, just waiting for that big earnings. And if this thing actually gets some good earnings going into Thursday's trading session, we could see a massive pop over 200. And I think that is what the market and also investors are waiting to see from Apple. If the earnings are good, forget about all that recession and all that garbage talk. We could see Apple exploding, and that will take this market to a new all-time high. Now, only if this thing dumps $7, then we are going to see possibly a correction in the market. So a lot of volatility coming in the market this week. So keep an eye on Apple stock, guys. On Microsoft, we got a flat day, and it was trying to break out of this downtrend today, but it didn't happen. Finally, actually closing above red line 50 SMA 335.70, which is a good news, but it did not get that breakout above 338, 339 right here. And only if that happens tomorrow, we could see Microsoft running up to this white line 20 SMA up here, 341.61, and then the gap on top 345. Below, right here, 335.70, we could see a drop down to 326.40, down to this lower Bollinger Band, and then the gap below 316.50. On Amazon, stock is down 1.5%, and Amazon holding above 13 SMA on this daily chart, 131.41, which is looking bullish going into the earnings on Thursday. So Amazon, we could see also a lot of volatility on Amazon. And if this thing breaks under white line 20 SMA 130, then we're going to see a dump off back down to 126. Above 130, Amazon can run again, and before the earnings, we could see 136 to even 138 on Amazon. And after earnings, guys, with good earnings, Amazon can also run with Apple. So I think that is what everybody's waiting on right now. Big earnings from Apple and also from Amazon. On Google, stock is down 0.92%, and Google, I took calls right at opening, right after the bell. 133 right here at 130.75. I don't even know where I got filled exactly, but it was under 131. And then within minutes, this thing went all the way up to 132.92, and I think from 132.50 I was selling out of my position. And then this thing came down, and now if you look at it, after hours sitting at 130.92 again. So Google stock holding above the support 129 to 130. That's gonna be a key level to watch. And below that, this thing can dump all the way down to this support, which is around 126 to 127, and that is kind of aligned with this 13 SMA on this daily chart. Another strong support, and then down here to 123 to close this gap from the earnings. Now to the upside, above 130, we could see a lot more upside on Google, all the way up to 134 to even 140. On Tesla stock is down 2.38%, and if you look at it, Tesla now closing below 262 and also 263 blue line 5 SMA right here. So it's not looking good, and that is going to give a lot more people a lot of opportunity to buy Tesla at a lower price. So tomorrow, below 262, already down $2. We could see Tesla down here to 251 to this lower Bollinger Band, and then red line 50 SMA down here 248.39, and those are swing trade opportunity on Tesla, guys. Now below that, we also have a gap or two gaps down here, 235, 222, so watch out for that as well. To the upside, Tesla can break above 262 and then 263 blue line 5 SMA. We could see a quick trip back up to 272.57, and above that, Tesla out of the woods, and then we're going to see Tesla going all the way up to 289.52 to close that gap on top. Right now, if you ask me, these are buying opportunities on Tesla before this thing runs up to 300 again, and possibly up to even 400 by end of this year. On Meta, it's up 1.29%. Absolutely beautiful trade on Meta today. And I talked about it last night, giving you guys a hint where to buy and where to sell Meta. I talked about it last night, buying this dip today on Meta. Anything close to 316 or this blue line 5 SMA, and look at this, guys, buying that dip exactly at 315 and then getting 320 calls going in the money, over the money. And I was looking at that 15-minute chart, and I knew that Meta can go all the way up to 324, and this is exactly what happened. And then a bit of a pullback down to 322.71 and closing at 1.29% up on the day. So Meta definitely not ready to give up. Do not count the stock out. We could see a new all-time high on Meta. That is still possible, guys. And if you look at it, breakout, now support 316. We got blue line 5 SMA moving up, now also close to 316. So those are some strong levels on Meta right here, 316. And only if that gives up, then watch out down here, 308.27, and then the gap below 301.77. To the upside, 316 can hold on Meta. We're going to see a retest of 326 and then all the way up to 338.65. And Meta, I think, yes, we could see a pullback, but this was a nice setup. And if this thing can continue this move above blue line 5 SMA, we're going to see more and more upside to a new all-time high on Meta.